You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
So many MCs focusing on black people extermination. We keep it balanced with that knowledge of self-determination. It's hot, we be blowing the spots with conversations. Come on, let's smooth it out like Soul Sensation. We in the house like Japanese in Japan or Koreans in Korea. Had to Philly and free Mamiya with the Coogee Chagalia. True, singing and swinging and writing is fighting, but what they writing got is clashing.
So today on the Lance J Radio Show, I'm actually about to get on a plane and fly from Seattle to Nashville, but I wanted to interview the leader of the Overton Park Seventh-day Adventist Church, Pastor Kymone Hinds. He's going to come in and talk about Overton Park and their place in the Final Four for the South Central Conference Basketball League. And it's great to have you on the show, Pastor Hinds. You've been on ASN. You've done some interviewing for us in the past, but it's nice to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, James, and I want to thank you for the work you're doing to kind of create this league for our young people, and also to create this network for Adventist Sports Network. So I want to thank you for this.
Oh, thank you. It's what I'm doing is just a small sliver. I mean, everyone has their own part in this whole youth ministry thing, and it's great that I've had a chance to collaborate with you and collaborate with your kids and some of the coaches at Overton Park. And I really respect what you guys do, but enough of the platitudes. I want to go right in. Let's get to it. You and I have been taking shots at each other on Facebook. Obviously, as the commissioner of the basketball league, I'm not rooting for one team or another to win. I have a lot of respect for Overton Park and what they do, but when it comes to the power rankings and some of the blurbs that I type up for the website on who I'm expecting to win, I predicted that Overton Park does not repeat as champions of our league. And I know that I've got some heat from Malcolm and TD and Curtis and Julian and all those guys who I know very well. Just wanted to talk to you about your expectations as the leader. What's Overton Park going to do? Are they going to bring this trophy home or not?
Man, listen, I have full confidence in our team and our coaching staff to bring home a W in this Final Four tournament. I just believe our team has been together so long. They gel well together. And I just think we have amazing coaching by Landry Rogers as our head coach. That I'm confident that they're going to go into a hostile environment because they're playing in Nashville.
That's right.
So Riverside is going to be the home. They're going to have the home crowd. Listen, they played in Memphis and they had a home crowd. So I know Riverside is going to just pack that place up, but I'm still confident we're going to bring it home.
What are some of the things that you guys do so well as a team? For those, anytime that I have a minister, we're going to get some listeners that may not normally listen to the show. Tell us about some of the specific players on your team and their skill sets and what they bring to the table.
Sure. The ones that I'm very much familiar with are Malcolm and TD. They've been like the mainstays on the team for the last few years. They've probably been in this team for 3+ years. And what I like about them, they focus on defense. Defense is what fuels this team. Offense will come, but they focus on very lockdown defense. They play what I'm very much admiring of how they respect the coach and the game plan she puts together for them. So, I mean, I watch Alondra get on those guys. She'll yank them when they don't follow the rules, but they are very respectful. So I think a team that plays and follows the coach's rules is always going to be a cut above a team that just kind of does their own thing. Then we have some other guys on there. One guy, we call him Twin, very good ball handler, penetrates well, gets to the basket. He just needs to finish well in this Final Four. But I think we're going to pull it off.
So for those listening to the Lance J Radio Show, I'm talking to Pastor Kymone Hinds, who is the pastor of the Overton Park SDA Church in Memphis, Tennessee. He's the leader of that organization who has an awesome basketball program and hasn't just been good over the last 4 years during the reenactment of the South Central Conference Basketball League, but has really sustained excellence over a 20 to 25-year period. Pastor Hinds, tell us what makes Overton Park so special as far as being able to bring young men, not necessarily off the streets, but from the community itself, and work with them and have just sustainability and excellence with basketball teams. I remember Overton Park coming and winning the Oakwood Alumni Tournament 2 out of the 4 years that I was at Oakwood. What makes you guys so good?
Well, I think Overton Park, we reflect our city. And Memphis is a city that's big on basketball. And Tony Allen describes it well when he says, man, grit and grind. The style of basketball that Overton Park plays reflects that kind of hard-working, blue-collar basketball. And, man, you know, Alondra has probably been one of the constants all throughout the years. And she had a pastor back called Pastor Murray, who kind of engaged her in starting that ministry. And I think her excellence has kind of attracted other young men that kind of come through the pipeline. But they reflect our city. And let me just give one quick shout-out. Man, a few years ago, we just said as a church, we wanted to reach our community. And Alondra just kind of said, man, I want to minister using my gift of basketball. And kind of took on a new generation of basketball players. And it has, I mean, I'm just blown away. So I comment, but I know I'm not a catalyst for that. I'm just an observer of what God has done through the work of people like Alondra and Joseph Wilson and Marcus Porter and those people.
Yeah, if you could expound about that as we kind of get to a close, Pastor Hinds. You mentioned Joseph and Marcus. I mean, they're doing really awesome work with the gifted, or God's Point of View. I know that there are different names for their acronym, but I see on their YouTube channel that you had like 50 kids on a Friday night on a Friday night Vespers, which is unheard of in this modern day and era of where people have access to cell phones and YouTube and computers, which we didn't have when we were kids. To have that many people in on a Friday night is flat out obscene and shows that you guys are going the extra mile to bring people in. Why? I know that you're very youth ministry oriented. The first time I came to Overton Park, I saw you and I was like, this guy's up here preaching in a pair of Chuck Taylors and T-shirt and jeans. I was like, I've never seen anybody preaching in a pair of Chuck Taylors and jeans. But the message was very authentic, and it really resonated with your members and the people that were there. What are you guys doing that's so special, and how can those that listen across the country, what are some of the things you're doing to let the Spirit move and really just proliferate with our young people?
Man, you know, maybe the best thing I can say is God has sent us young people, and there's some young people who are who've grown up at Overton Park. One who I'd like to mention, Kevon Griffith. And what Overton Park has done, just as a church, is people with gifts, giving them the opportunity to do stuff. So I would say like Marcus and Joseph, one of the things you could see with those guys is they came here with gifts and a passion. And we just kind of, as the church has done, just kind of released them and said, man, let's see where this is going. It may not look like anything we have written down in any of the books or the manuals, but it's like, man, let's just kind of see where this goes. And them using their gifts and talents has attracted young people from the community. We got a huge boost when the Grace Tour came through here, and they said to us we needed to adopt a street. And I mean, our church has kind of said we'll adopt that street over there. We prayed, and then Marcus, Joseph, other young people started going over and just meeting the neighbors and realizing, man, they were just young people who were looking for connection and looking for mentorship. And those young people have become a part of our church family. The basketball has also given us young men who want to be a part of activities that are happening. And I'll say, you know, just as a church being open to new young people and new people in general as they come. I think that's been the thing that's blessed us.
Yeah, this awesome work that you guys are doing at Overton Park. I admire it. I'm looking forward. Are you going to be in the house personally tomorrow night? On Saturday night?
I'm going to try to get there because I have 2 services on Saturday and one is in the afternoon. So I'm going to do my best to get up there on Saturday night. I know my family, my wife and kids are going to represent me. They'll be there all day. But I'm going to try to get up there Saturday night.
Well, good luck to the OPC. This is Pastor Kymone Hinds, Senior Pastor of Overton Park SDA Church. Overton Park has been one of the mainstays in the South Central Conference Basketball League. They have won 18 out of their last 20 games and kind of emerged as the elite program in our conference. And this year's champion, as we all know, gets an automatic berth in the United Youth Congress tournament, and they will face champions from other conferences like Northeastern, Lake Region, Allegheny East, Allegheny West. So they actually have a chance to play for a national championship if they're able to win this weekend. So we look forward to talking to you again, and we look forward to continue to see greatness from Overton Park.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. This is Coach Eric Cantrell. I am the athletic director and the head coach for boys basketball at Pine Forge Academy, located in Pine Forge, Pennsylvania. And I'm listening to the Lance J radio show on Advent Sports Network.
Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. It disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
You're listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network. Some of my friends from Cleveland are not going to like this next take, but they'll get over it. Specifically you, Alan Bozeman, or any of the Bozeman family listening. Orlando Grant, any of my boys from there, Gary King, Dominic King, who's our voiceover guy, who does an awesome job, Voice of the Deep, check him out. I see a lot of incessant whining from people from Cleveland over this fiasco with LeBron James and what went on with David Blatt and the front office terminating the coach, even though he was 30-11. Tyronn Lue entering to be the head coach. He is a first-time head coach, just like David Blatt. Cleveland has been getting skewered, the Cavs, not the city, but Cleveland has been getting skewered for their lack of front office control and pretty much handing the entire keys of the franchise to LeBron James. And rightfully so. But what I see from people from Cleveland that's starting to get on my nerves, this whole Cleveland is against the world mentality. All of this talk about people from Cleveland saying that everybody in the United States hates on Cleveland and people want to potshot Cleveland. People want to talk about Cleveland, how bad it is, and talk about things that are kind of lame, the crime rate and the Rust Belt era, and just Cleveland, the lake caught on fire 100 years ago. Just stupid stuff. Every city has some skeletons and things that other people make fun of. I live in Seattle. It rains here for 6 consecutive months. People paint their hair green and listen to grunge music and drink coffee. And people make fun of me when I'm on the East Coast. They say, doesn't it rain every day all year round? And you just have to get over that. But the mentality, it seems like people from Cleveland think that the city is more important than it actually is. Cleveland was, past tense, one of the elite cities in the United States. Currently, Cleveland is not at that level. It's a mid-level city that's not a bad city. They're reinventing themselves as a healthcare hub. You got Cleveland Clinic there. You have several great hospital systems there. Case Western's there. You have a lot of bright Cleveland people that are intelligent, people that are very well educated, good education. However, Cleveland is not a destination of choice. It's not Atlanta, it's not Dallas, it's not LA, it's not Chicago, it's not Philly, it's not Boston, it's not New York. For some reason, people in Cleveland think that they are water cooler talk around the country, meaning that people from LA are hating on them, people from Phoenix are hating on them. I've lived all over the country. I've lived in the Northeast, I've lived in the Midwest, I've lived in the South, and now I live on the West Coast. I'm telling you, I've never seen a Browns fan. I've never seen a Browns hat or a Cavs hat out here on the West Coast. Nobody cares. People don't hate Cleveland. They don't love Cleveland. There are people that hate on LeBron. There are people that don't like that LeBron went to Miami. There are people that are jealous of the Cavs because they have LeBron. But let's not try to make Cleveland into a world-class elite city that people grow up hating. People hate New York because New York's great. People hate on Chicago because Chicago's great. Cleveland's not great. It's a mediocre place. There's nothing wrong with being a mediocre place. I mean, it's in that same boat. Denver, Minneapolis, Cleveland, maybe Nashville to an extent. These are decent cities that have some pros and cons. But Cleveland, Seattle, where I live, is there. Phoenix, maybe, San Diego. But Cleveland is not an elite choice of destination in the United States. Stop talking and telling people that everyone hates you. Nobody's against you. Nobody even cares. You don't hate on the mediocre kid that's in your class that's just a regular basketball player and kind of moderately cool. He just blends in the cafeteria. You hate on those who are extremely successful or those who are a complete punchline, and you pick on them. Cleveland is in neither of those categories. It's a decent city, decent culture. A lot of people that I really love and care about are from Cleveland. But you're not elite. You're not great. You're not wonderful. You're not better than many of the other cities in Ohio. And to be truthfully honest, in many ways, Columbus is catching up on you. And I'm from Columbus, so some may say that I have a bias. But Franklin County is one of the fastest growing counties in the United States. Cuyahoga County is the second fastest county as far as losing population in the United States. So let's just stop it. You guys go out and win a championship, get the Browns fixed, stop whining about people hating on Cleveland. It's tiresome, it's annoying, and it makes you guys look soft. One thing I'll say about people from Cleveland, they're not soft. It's a blue-collar town, it's a Midwest town, people are strong, people work with their hands, people, if it goes down in the streets, I don't know anyone from Cleveland who won't knuckle up if it goes down. So quit whining. Just man up, win a title, and shut up. You're listening to The Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
The Lance J Radio Show is taped at Advent Sports Network Studios, located in beautiful Emerald City of Seattle, Washington.